the House of Ghosts. It was a cold autumn evening when Emily and her friends decided to explore the old, abandoned house on the outskirts of town. The house had a dark reputation. People whispered about it in hushed tones, calling it the House of Ghosts. No one had dared to enter it for decades. The last known residents, the Morrison family, had disappeared under mysterious circumstances, leaving the town in fear. Emily, ever the skeptic, didn't believe in ghosts. She laughed off the stories and dared her friends to spend the night in the haunted house. Reluctantly, they agreed, determined to prove there was nothing to fear. Armed with flashlights and sleeping bags, they made their way through the overgrown path to the crumbling mansion. The moment they crossed the threshold, the temperature dropped noticeably. The air inside was thick with dust, and the floorboards creaked beneath their feet. The house was eerily quiet, save for the occasional rustle of wind through broken windows. Still, Emily brushed it off as an old house settling into the night. They settled in the grand foyer, spreading out their sleeping bags and joking nervously to keep their fear at bay. As the hours passed, their laughter faded, replaced by an uneasy silence. Emily's friend Sarah suggested they explore the second floor. Hesitant but curious, they climbed the decaying staircase, each step echoing loudly in the stillness. On the second floor, they found rooms frozen in time, filled with dust-covered furniture and old portraits staring down at them from the walls. The portraits of the Morrison family members seemed almost alive, their eyes following the group's every move. Emily couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Suddenly, a door at the end of the hall creaked open on its own. Sarah gasped, but Emily, determined not to show fear, insisted it was just the wind. They cautiously approached the open door, revealing a child's bedroom. In the center of the room stood an old, weathered rocking chair, slowly swaying back and forth. "That's not possible," whispered Jake, Emily's other friend. "There's no draft in here." Just then, the temperature plummeted, and a low, mournful cry echoed through the room. It was faint at first, but it grew louder until it was deafening, filling the entire house. The group stumbled backward, their flashlights flickering uncontrollably. The door slammed shut behind them with a force that shook the walls. Panic set in. Emily ran to the door, yanking at the handle, but it wouldn't budge. Sarah screamed as the room grew darker, shadows creeping across the walls. The once subtle movement of the rocking chair had become violent, rocking so fast it was almost a blur. Out of the corner of her eye, Emily saw a figure. Pale, translucent, and twisted with anguish. It was the ghost of a young boy, his eyes hollow and pleading. He pointed toward the floor beneath the rocking chair, mouthing silent words. Without thinking, Emily lunged forward, pulling the chair away from the floor. Beneath it, etched into the wooden floorboards, was a name: Samuel Morrison. The moment they read the name, the cries stopped, and a strange calm washed over the room. The ghost of the boy stood still, his expression softening before vanishing into thin air. The door creaked open, and the group ran, leaving the house and its horrors behind. As they stood outside, gasping for breath, they turned to see the house's windows glowing faintly, like eyes watching them leave. Later, they learned that Samuel Morrison, the youngest son of the family, had died tragically in the house. His spirit had been trapped there, unable to rest. Though Emily had gone to the house a skeptic, she left with a deep understanding that some stories are true, and some spirits never truly leave. From that night on, no one dared to challenge the legend of the House of Ghosts again.